So President Biden enjoys fun in the sun during a family trip to the Virgin Islands, icing out any formal discussions on his plan for 2024.
Did you talk to your family about running for re-election, sir?
There's an election coming up?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
What's your priorities for 2023?
How was dinner?
This while questions mount of what the future of the Democratic Party may look like. Former Arkansas Governor and former presidential candidate Mike Huckabee joins us now. Mike, Happy New Year to you, brother. So what do you think about this? Is he going to run? Because if he doesn't run, who's the option for the Democratic Party?
You know, I think, Lawrence, first of all, let me just say this. Would you reach into your pocket and get a coin and give it to Todd? Because it'll be a lot less dangerous than him trying to cut up that stupid cake, digging around for it, and making a mess on the set. So do that first and foremost.
I got you,
But let's
brother.
get back to Joe Biden. He probably is going to run. I don't know that he knows he's going to run. When he said, I didn't know there was an election, I don't think that was a joke. I don't think he really knows that there's an election coming up. But here's what we can figure. He's not the only Democrat that's going to run. He won't have a solo run at this. There will be other Democrats, Gavin Newsom, probably some maybe more moderate governors that will jump in. But he will not have the stage to himself because I think a lot of Democrats realize, number one, he's already 80 years old. He'll be 82 by the time that the election would roll around. And that's just unprecedented. And this isn't the Senior Bowl. This is really the toughest job in the world. And he's already shown that he may not quite be up to it. So will he run? Probably. But will he run unopposed in the Democrat primary? Absolutely not. So,
Mike, according to the approval rating, only 44% of Americans approve of the job he's doing, and 56%, this is according to our Fox News polling, disapprove. But it seems like he had a little bit of the wind in his sails after the midterms. It didn't go exactly how Republicans thought it would go. Do you still think that presses him ahead?
Well, you know, I still am trying to figure out what happened in the midterms. There were a lot of factors going on there that didn't work out for the Republicans. I was one who guessed it totally wrong. I thought we'd win the Senate and the House. But I don't think that that's really showing a mandate for Joe Biden. I don't see that at all. I think the country is just fiercely divided. It's a lot between urban and rural. The cities of America are very different than the flyover country of America. But what I really want to know is, who are the 44% that look at Joe Biden's performance and say, heck of a job, Joe, keep it up?
I'm wondering too, brother. What's your message for the audience for this new year?
Be optimistic. This is America. We're not a country that is given to failure. We're resilient. And right now, there are a lot of things that give me great concern and pause. I mean, I'm really troubled by many things happening in our country. The wokeness that is destroying freedom of speech, the ability of Americans to just be who they are and to live their lives with a sense of joy and liberty. But all that said, I see great signs coming up, bubbling up from the communities where people show up at school board meetings and city councils and say enough. So we're a resilient country. We bounce back. I hope the Republicans in the House show some real spine. One of the things they've been given is a key to go after the very serious issues in our country, like the corruption of the FBI and the Department of Justice. We need to find out, and they don't need to be timid about it. And if they are, then quite frankly, a pox on all their houses.
Yeah. It'll be consequences if they don't go with the mandate that they've been given. Mike, it's going to be a big year for you and your family. Your daughter will be sworn in a few days. So congratulations, brother, and Happy New Year.
Thank you very much, Lawrence. And go give him a quarter or a dime or something and get Todd off the hook there.
You know what, brother? I may give him a golden one. He needs a little bit more luck this year. Not going so well so far. Thanks, Mike.
Happy New Year.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.